Hello, this is Mr. Young. This video is about how to use Ocenaudio to add bumper music to the end of your podcast. Bumper music is what they call it in radio when you add some music to the end and let it fill up the empty space afterwards, just in case you need it before the commercial break comes, or maybe between another story you're not quite sure how much time you'll need. So it gives you a little bit of a cushion there, a little bit of a bumper. So we're going to be adding some music to the end of the podcast today, and I will show you how using Ocenaudio, the audio software we've been using in class. So I have here an interview that I did with Mrs. Norton, and I'm just going to play you the tail end of it, about the last 16 seconds, I think.
It's a fun job. You're always finding out new things and learning new things. I think that's the most fun part of this job. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. You're always learning something different and new.
Thank you.
Wait, you're welcome.
All right, so let's see. That was about 17 seconds there. So that's the end of my interview, and what I want to do is I want to insert some music about right here, the 2-minute and 19-second mark, and have it slowly fade up until the end of my interview, where it will get as loud as it will, and then let the music keep playing a little bit after that. I don't want it to be too loud that it overpowers the interview. I want it to be subtle but effective. So let's look at some ways that we might accomplish that. The first thing I want to do is add a little bit of silence to the end. There's kind of an abrupt cut there, and I want to make sure that there's some space after I cut the microphone to allow the music to keep playing for a while, to add that bumper. So that's very easy to do. I'm going to put my cursor at the very end of the interview, and if I go to generate up here at the top, you click generate silence. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and put in about 30 seconds of silence. That might be too much, but we can always cut some out later. And now I got 30 seconds of silence there. Alright, so back to where I want to put my music. Let's see, about 2 minutes and 29 seconds, was it?
It's a fun job.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 2 seconds. So I guess my time changed because I added some silence. So I want my music to start about here.
Job.
So one of the things I need to do is find a piece of music. So if you want to follow copyright rules and make sure that you're not using somebody else's work without permission, you can either record your own music or you can go looking for music that you have permission to use. One of my favorite sources is YouTube Audio Library. So I'm going to open that up. YouTube Audio Library, and there I can find all kinds of music here that is free to use. I'm allowed to use it. I don't have to give any permission or attribution. It's all been donated by a really generous artist for us to use. I can search by genre, I can look by instrument, I can look by mood, I can look for duration, how long I want the song to be, but I'm going to go for mood. I enjoyed this interview with Mrs. Norton. I'm going to go for a happy mood, and I want my audience to feel happy when they listen to it. Warm and happy. So I'm going to go ahead and click happy. Now I've got some different choices that they've categorized as happy. I'm going to try campfire song. Nice. I like that. That's the kind of feeling I want to go for. So I am going to download that song. And I'm just going to leave it there in my download tray for now, and I'll bring it in at Ocenaudio. So I still have Mrs. Norton's interview here at the end. I'm going to open from my downloads, campfire song. And there it is. Great. So I obviously don't want the entire thing. Really, see if I go back and look at Mrs. Norton's interview. If I start there at 2 minutes and 2 seconds, I want to go out up to about there. So, 29 seconds, 30 seconds is probably more than enough. So about 30 seconds of campfire song. So let's go back and see where that would leave me. Got my cursor, drag it out to about 30 seconds. About 34 seconds. None of this has to be exact. We can always play around with it later. But I'm going to delete everything that happens after 33 seconds because I don't think I'm going to need much more than that. I'm going to just go ahead and cut the rest of it. I can press backspace or right click it and cut it. Now I've got 33 seconds of campfire song. which is great. But I don't want it to just kind of start off at full volume. I want it to kind of fade in slowly over time. So I'm going to give it about a 10-second fade there. So if I highlight it, 10 seconds of this music. See, 7, 8, 10. There we go, about 10 seconds. I want it to fade in until it finally gets to full volume. So to do that, I go to Effects. I can come down to Amplitude, Fade In. And there you can see the waveform slowly building as it gets louder. Lovely. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and save that. Happy with what I've done with Campfire Song so far. And now I need to put it over Mrs. Norton's interview here at the end of her interview. So to do that, I can put my cursor there, and I can go up to File. Now what I want to do is I want to paste it in there. But it's not just any old paste. I'm pasting on top of something. I'm going over the conversation. I'm not putting it in the middle of the conversation. So I can go down to Paste Special. And I don't want to insert it. I want to overlap it. So if I click on Overlap, from File, it'll let me choose my Campfire Song. But I also don't need it to be at 100% volume. 15 should be plenty. I'm going to go ahead and click OK. I'm going to choose my Campfire Song. And you can see I just pasted my 33 seconds. So, let's see what that sounds like.
It's a fun job. You're always finding out new things and learning new things. I think that's the most fun part of this job. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. You're always learning something different and new.
Thank you.
Wait. You're welcome.
Love it. All right. So I've got plenty of extra time here. I don't need all of that. Let's see how much extra time I have. 15 seconds, 16 seconds. So if I just want to keep about, I don't know, maybe I just want 10 seconds of that. All I have to do is come to the end of my song there, highlight about 10 seconds. Good. And actually, I'll stop there 10 seconds, and I'm going to take the rest of it, cut that part out. So now, instead of having it abruptly cut, if I don't do a fade out, it's going to sound like this. And that's kind of jarring, right? Just like it faded in nicely, I want to have it fade out nicely. So let's take the last 10 seconds. Maybe I'll do 8 seconds. And I'll fade out. So again, I'm going to go to Effects, Amplitude, Fade Out, and then it goes into a nice, quiet, smooth fade. And now the commercial can start, or the next story on the radio can start, but I've added my bumper music. Listen to it one more time. I'll bring it back to here.
I like working with people. I like working with kids. I'm teaching humanities now, and I love that. It's a fun job. You're always finding out new things and learning new things. I think that's the most fun part of this job. You're not doing the same thing over and over again. You're always learning something different and new.
Thank you.
Wait. You're welcome.
And now I've got a piece that's ready for the radio.